So in this video, I want to go over conversion optimization. Now, this is basically just some tweaks that you can be making to your landing page and your campaign to try and increase the conversions. It's always good to get into this. This isn't something that you need to be doing so early on when you're first launching your campaign. This is just something once you've got most of the elements locked in, you're probably starting to run a whitelist campaign, it's making profit, and you want to try and squeeze out even more profit, then this is when you want to delve in a bit deeper and try and squeeze out more profit. So just to make a note that this is not going to make an unprofitable campaign profitable. So you don't want to start with this in mind because it's quite time consuming. I don't do all of these things all of the time. These are just good things that if you want to get even more conversions, then you can do these. First thing that you want to do is use a heat map tool like Crazy Egg, and I'll show you this in a minute on my computer. Actually, I'll show it you now. So basically, Crazy Egg, if you don't know what it is, it's a tool. It's called crazyegg.com. You have to pay to use it, but you can basically add your landing page into it, and you add some code onto your landing page, and it basically can track what a user is doing on your page. So this is just an example of an old landing page which I had up and running a while ago. It's not had that many hits, but it shows us where the user is on the page, because obviously when we're doing a campaign and we're looking at the analytics, the only thing we can see is obviously hits on that page, impressions on that page, and then if they click through our landing page, and that's the only metric we can really measure. But a good thing to look at is that what was the user doing on that page, and that's what this tool allows us to do. So we can see where they're clicking, where they're looking, whether they scroll further down the page. So this means you can start to really optimize your landing page and try and make it get even more conversions basically and increase the click-through rate. So if you just have a look at it here, you can see like the popularity of each section of the page, and these little blue marks, if you can see them, are where someone clicked. So obviously there's no buttons for people to click here. This image actually did have a click through. They could click through on it, but not a lot of people have clicked on that because they probably didn't realize. So then you might think, well, actually I want to increase click-through rates. Maybe it's worth testing a play button on this image, because that will definitely increase clicks on that image. And then we can just scroll down and you can see that this watch now button is what's been getting all of the hits. And this is quite popular. This is where a lot of the audience was, like 60% of the people that came to this page clicked on this button and came to this section. So it just shows you where they're scrolling. So you maybe, from this knowledge, you might want to bring that button up higher, maybe up here, which obviously will get even more people clicking. Or if you think that this bit of text at the bottom is doing a lot more selling, you might want to add that text a bit higher because you want them to definitely read that before they click. And you can kind of just have a play with this, and obviously this is a very basic landing page, but if you've got an advertorial style landing page, which is very long, and you want to see where people are clicking, you might find that if 90% of the audience only go this far up of the page, then it might be a good idea to add a call to action much higher up rather than having it at the end of your article. And you can just have a play around with it. So your Crazy Egg is a good one to see what the audience is doing. It also lets you record as well, and you can see where a user actually scrolls live as well if you want to delve in a bit deeper. So it is always a good tool to optimize based on that. Another thing you can do as well is add dynamic tokens onto the landing page. So basically what these are is a little bit of code which will be inside your landing page, and it can basically tag certain things. So for example, if you want to tag the location that the user is in inside the landing page, you can. So you could say like customers in, and then you could put the dynamic token of city. So it says, so when someone clicks on it from Manchester, it'll be customers in Manchester getting this current deal or whatever, and that just helps them relate to the landing page, and it can increase conversions, and it works quite well. You can also use dynamic tags for the date as well. So if you're doing like an advertorial style and you want to have a date at the top and you don't want to keep updating that date, you can just add a dynamic token, so every time they click on it, it will keep updating with their current date. So I'll just show you how you do that. So this is Lander Lab. Let's say this is your landing page. Now what you can do is you go to File, Lander Settings, and then at the top here it says in the generic settings, enable dynamic tokens. Now you can turn them on, and basically what they do, it explains what it is here, but you can put the name of your URL parameter, which we're going to get from volume in just a second. I'll show you how to set it up. But let's say, for instance, we want to tag the city. We would put square bracket, the word city, and then square bracket. And then we basically need to add this in wherever we want the city of the user to pop up. And then we need to add something to the end of the landing page URL, which we'll do inside volume in just a moment. So you click save on that, and then we need to edit the code. You wouldn't just paste it in here. So you'd go to code, and then you want to scroll down. So this is it. Let's just edit this here. So this is the title in, and then we're going to paste in that tag for the word city, and then we click save. Now you'll see that it says it here, these self-adjusting glasses will do wonders for your eyesight in city. It doesn't make sense, but that's the tag. Then we're going to click save on that. Now if we go to that domain, it won't say anything at the end because there's no tag on it. But we need to get volume to add this tag, but I'll just show you how it works now. So if it said question mark at the end of this domain, city equals, and then the word Manchester, which we'll get volume to add in just a second, we can paste that in, refresh it, and you can see there it's added that tag in. Now if we change that to Birmingham and then click refresh, it's changing it to Birmingham. So we can actually change whatever if we're telling the domain that city equals, and then whatever's added here, it will add it into the page dynamically, if that makes sense. If you want to add this to your landing page so that volume knows the city, you need to just tell volume some information. So you'd go back to your volume where you've got your landing page saved, and you go to the landing page settings, and then this would be the domain here, and then it's got the option here, available URL tokens, and there's loads of different tokens we can add here, but what we want to add is city. So then what we need to do is add a question mark at the end of it, then the word city, which is the token which you added into that landing page. So it'd be whatever token you added inside, that could be region, it could be whatever. Then you click equals, and then you need to tell that the volume token, which is city, in these different type of brackets here. So what will happen now is when someone clicks on this link using your volume tracking link, volume will automatically add the city that they're currently clicking from to this URL. So then using that token, it will be instantly added inside your landing page, which can increase conversions. So that's always a good little way which you can actually make your landing page relate more to the user that's actually viewing it. So that's that. Another thing which you can do is, I'm not going to show you how to do it now, but you can add exit pops. Inside Lander Lab, it's in the same settings, which you just see me sort out the dynamic token. You can go along, and there's an option to add exit pops. Exit pops are a good one because they basically just pop-ups, which will pop up as someone is about to leave the page. So if they're going to leave anyway, they are quite annoying and people don't like them, but if they're about to leave anyway, and you can try and get their attention one last time to get them to come through to the offer page, you might as well give it a go. And it can just give you a slight increase in ROI, because even if like 1 out of 100 people that actually saw that exit pop decided to click and then the offer won them over, it could be another conversion that you can get. So exit pops can be helpful, definitely. And one final thing is that split testing different call to actions. So on your landing page, you're going to have different buttons. If it's that type of landing page, or it could just be an advertorial with different links, it's always good to split test these, because you can find that even just that one thing can really affect the click-through rate, which eventually affects the conversion rate. So you should always be split testing things like this. So you would keep both of the landing pages exactly the same and literally just split test the one thing at a time, so you can see if that has made any difference. For example, I found that instead of having order now on the bottom of a page, if you change it to check availability, that can increase clicks, because for some reason I'm guessing that if someone sees order now, they're assuming that it could just charge their card even though they haven't put card details in. It could maybe just start the order process, and maybe they don't want to order that second. So if you change it to check availability, you're telling the person that's reading it that, yeah, you're not going to order yet, it's just another page we're going to take you to that's going to check the availability, which can increase click-through rate. Little things like that you find by split testing the call to action buttons, which can always boost click-through rate and conversions. So those are my little tips on conversion optimization. There's obviously more things that you can do if you really want to keep going deep, but these will help you squeeze out a bit more profit and a bit more conversions from your campaigns if you do want to go down that route.